Hello from Hawksong Weaving. I'm a disabled and chronically ill weaver, and in this video I'll be weaving a shawl from odds and ends of another artisan's stash, and musing on how my particular style of weaving reflects the turns my life has taken in recent years. I find that a patched together life is a life worth living. Life takes odd turns, but even tattered and worn yarn still has value. Tired joints and health flares don't have to stop the journey. Welcome to Hawksong Weaving, where all our paths are a little bit warped. With the polar vortex this week, I wanted to feel warm, but not just physically. I wanted to feel that reveling in the warmth of found family, solid foundations, age, and things lasting. So I reached for yarn gifted from the stash of my partner's cousin. The yarn I pulled for this project is dyed from black walnut husks, indigo and iron, turmeric, and eucalyptus. Perfect for the feeling of sustenance, warming spices, and old strength I was searching for. I love working with the smaller wool balls from both friends, family, and thrift stores, and I feel protective of the small tattered balls that are in thrift stores especially. I come from a rural homeschooling background. I know how much work goes into producing wool yarn. That in my work I'm able to save these scraps from being in the landfill, even better. This particular yarn, having been shipped to me from another artisan, one who I knew through a loved one, is especially wonderful and perfect for that found family feeling. Working with secondhand, disparate balls of yarn also helps remind me that I have value. It's so easy as a disabled and chronically ill person to internalize ableism, to view myself as a failure because I'm not bringing consistent money in for my family, to feel that I'm lesser in some way. Seeing myself in the tattered yarn that still has value helps me a lot. It won't help everyone, but that's okay. Like everything I do with these videos, take what works for you and leave the rest. But you have to be gentle with the more tattered yarn. It needs to be coaxed into a new form, given a new life. But it's no less beautiful in its new life than it might have been if it wasn't tattered and was instead sparkling new. It just needs some gentleness, some accommodations and adaptations. Most of the wool I work with comes from everywhere and nowhere all at once. Weaving together the disparate threads into something new and wonderful has been incredibly healing for me. You may have noticed the semicolon on my loom. For those unaware, it's become a popular symbol for those who have struggled with mental illness, particularly those who have contemplated suicide. It represents a sentence or a life that could have ended but didn't. That's personal for me and for reasons that I won't go into. But needless to say, taking the yarn at the end of its life, that's been tattered and worn down, and giving it a new life, that's wonderful beyond words. Weaving at its core takes weaker threads and makes them stronger, warmer, more durable than if they were still a singular strand. One of my favorite songs to weave to is The Bones by Morris. I'm probably mispronouncing that, I apologize. The song details how life and storms can come at you hard, but when you have a good foundation, metaphorically both the house and your relationships, you can weather the storms together. Weaving reminds me of that. On this cold day, I wanted something like a granite hearthstone, retaining heat from the fire and keeping me warm, but with the desire for the strength of found family, while remembering where I'm from. Weaving this shawl was also like a good, strong fieldstone northern New England foundation. You see fieldstone northern New England foundations everywhere. Having a finished basement is a rarity. Instead, you're more likely to see a damp earth floor and fieldstones that human hands tugged and lugged into place 100 to 150 years before. And they stand the test of time and New England winters. The house is more likely to rot away than those stones move out of place. Today, weaving with secondhand wool dyed full of strength, warmth, and sustenance, turning it into something that will keep someone physically warm feels like that foundation. Firm and steady and letting the storms and blizzards roll over, keeping each other safe and warm and secure. I want to say thank you for sticking around this long. If you'd like to support my work, please feel free to subscribe or follow. Links to other social media and my storefront can be found below. Like a lot of things about how I create content, take what works for you and leave the rest. I'm so glad for the odd turn your life took that got you here, and I'm so glad that you're still here despite what may have come before. Thanks for spending some time with Hawksong Weaving, where we're all a bit warped.